just go on. क्यों सोशल काम कर रहा है ना।
A very warm good afternoon to everybody. I'm Dr. Devanshu Srivastava, the organizing secretary for this 15 days online refresher course. We'll be starting with our inaugural ceremony in next 5 minutes.
The participants are requested to kindly mute themselves until unless it is not required.
Madam?
Good afternoon, Devanshu sir.
Good afternoon, Gaurav sir. Sir, I also welcome Professor Alok Mishra sir, the Dean for Faculty of Law, Jagran Lake City University, and Professor Vivek Khare sir, the Registrar for Jagran Lake City University. They have joined.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Devanshu.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Gaurav. Good afternoon.
Sir, we'll be just beginning in just a couple of more minutes, and both the guest of honors, I just had a word, they'll be joining in a couple of minutes. I would also welcome all the faculty members from Jagran Lake City University and the dear participants for this 15 days online refresher course. Gaurav sir, a quick audio check. I guess I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay. No, I just saw somebody writing.
Sir, your voice is very slow. Sir, your voice is very low. Please make it a bit louder.
Sir, I would request you to please kindly use the earphones. I guess
Okay.
I'm perfectly audible to all you.
However, it is audible.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. Gaurav sir, we are joined by Honorable Vice Chancellor sir as well.
Good afternoon, Shastri, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Vimal ma'am. Good afternoon, Vimal ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Vimal ma'am.
And we're just waiting for Bakshi sir to join and we'll start with the.
Okay.
With the permission of the guest, can we begin with the program?
Yeah, please, Gaurav. You can.
Yes. Rushida and Nancy, we can start with the program.
Am I audible clearly?
Yes, you're on.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Rushda Arshad, along with Nancy Chaturvedi, would like to welcome you all for 15 days of online researcher course on new age teaching methods and skills in higher education, organized by Jagran Lake City University, Bhopal, and Droid Penal Group, Prayagraj, in collaboration with Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center, a scheme under Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching, Ministry of Education, Government of India. I would like to continue the session with a quick introduction about our organizing committee. Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching is a scheme launched by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. The aim of the scheme is to improve the quality of school and higher education by comprehensively addressing all issues related to teachers, teaching, teachers' preparation, professional development, curriculum design, and developing assessment and evaluation methodology, research in pedagogy, and developing effective pedagogy. Many centers such as TLC, FDC, School of Education, etc., have been opened throughout the country. Furthermore, Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center (GADTLC) was inaugurated on 1st July 2016 by Srimati Smriti Irani. GADTLC is a leading center of Ministry of Education, Government of India under PMMNMTT. GADTLC have been created under the Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching of the Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, Government of India, which addresses comprehensively all issues related to teachers, teaching, teacher preparation, and professional development, and thus helps in preparation of modern age ICT survey teachers. The center empowers through various basic and advanced workshops of teachers in pedagogy, virtual and blended, and ICT skills. MHRD has also selected GADTLC as a National Resource Center of Chemistry in 2018. Since 2016, it has trained more than 73,000 teachers in the areas of e-learning, blended learning pedagogies, ICT tools, and educational technologies, etc. The core team of GAD-TLC has the expertise of developing more than 50 MOOCs for Samvim platform of Government of India, and the e-content produced by GAD-TLC has been rated one of the best in the quality at national level. JLU Bhopal. JLU Bhopal is one of the fastest growing and one of the most awarded universities in Central India, having practice-based pedagogy at its core. Currently, the university is offering 50 plus degree programs to more than 2,500 students and 8 countries and 27 states of India. The university has numerous partnerships with top industries and international educational institutes, ensuring the students get great exposure both nationally and internationally. JLU Bhopal is only practicing university in Central India. EMASU plus programs under the Turning India project, funded by the European Commissions, and it's also currently the country chair of Association of Universities of Asia Pacific. Jagran Lake City University became the first university of MP and CG to be awarded the DIA-MOND Diamond rating by QS an international rating agency in June 2021. JLU was ranked 30th best private university in India by Education World in 2021 and also got the e-learning excellence for academic designation certification 2020 and 2021 by QSIGOG. India Today and Outlook India has ranked Jagran School of Journalism and Mass Communication, JLU Bhopal, as #1 in Madhya Pradesh and top in India in 2020. And the university has been bestowed with several prestigious awards, such as University of the Year by Government of Madhya Pradesh for consecutive 5 years from 2015 to 2019, and is recognized as Global League Institution in 2015 at the House of Commons, London, UK. And at last, we have Droid Penal Group, a unit of Arjun Das Gulati Memorial Society. The Arjun Das Gulati Memorial Society, which is registered under the Societies Registration Act 1860, which the Order of the Registrar of Societies has created to the object of Droid Penal Group. The Droid Penal Group has also registered a Society of the Research in Criminology, Indian Legal Research Society of Criminology. The society is looking into the research and publication of research work under the banner of Indian Legal Research Society on Criminology. The organization is signing MOUs with universities, colleges, and organizations for the welfare of and encouragement of young minds in the research and publication. Droid Penal Group is an initiative taken in the legal field to provide the discussion on minute nonsense involved in creatives of law in a simple and qualified manner. The Droid Penal Indian Law Journal on Crime and Criminology, ILJCC, was established in the year 2016, where in the year 2019, the Droid Penal Group started over the ventures under the name of Droid Penal Group. The Droid Penal Group Indian Law Journal on IPR was established in 2019 and DP Newsletter in 2019. And Droid Penal publication in the year 2020 under the banner of Droid Penal Group, a unit of Arjun Das Gulati Memorial Society, Prayagraj. The Droid Penal Group is established for the purpose of promoting interest by organizing workshops, refresher courses, faculty development programs, capacity building programs, seminars, debates, and discussion. Not only this, but also the Droid Penal Group focuses on imparting free education and training to poor and needy students. The group is actively involved in the promotion of legal aid to poor and aggrieved classes of society by regular organizing free aid legal camps. Thank you. Now I would request Dr. Devanshu Srivastav, sir, Associate Professor, Jagran Lake City University, Bhopal, to please brief us about the program. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Rushda. So with this, I welcome everybody in this 15 days online refresher course. And as this refresher course is aimed for the teachers, the academicians, and the research scholars to advance the quality of teaching and research in the social sciences, science domains, and commerce, and many other folds. The subject areas are extended to the substantive and the procedural courses. The present online refresher course will look out for at the syllabus, the study materials, and the teaching methods in social sciences, law, commerce, science, management, and covering all the domains that are literally possible and being educated in the present higher education. This 15-day long teaching refresher course is aimed at providing the academicians and the research scholars who would like to update their knowledge on the best teaching methodology, teaching pedagogies, the practices, materials, content analysis, and the presentation style to enhance their teaching skills and promote discussions to share the ideas and experience with their fellow peers in the professorship and to the students as well. The participants in this course are encouraged to share their experience and views. The expected learning outcomes includes not just updating knowledge, but also how they're translating it into their teaching and the learning modules in respective subjects, how this is transformed in their classrooms to the students and to the learners. Through the exchange of experience, the course expects to adopt the best practices and innovative methods in teaching and research. The methodology of this online refresher course shall be based on online session comprising on Zoom with a minimum of 2 sessions per day of 1.5 hours each. The first session each day would start at 2:30 and will continue till 4 p.m. When we'll have a half an hour gap, and the second session would start at 4:30 p.m. and will continue till 6 p.m. All the Sundays would be an off. The compulsory lectures shall be followed by an assignment, and the cumulative assessment of the assignment shall be done on the LMS model. The classroom lectures, case study, experience-based sharings, group discussions, and the presentation by the participants are some integral parts to be covered. The subjects and the practical themes that are covered in this 15-day refresher course shall include and shall not limit to teaching skills and ethics, making graduate ready, practice ready and reference to teaching, framing and drafting of policies, research writing and report writing, interpretation tools including the ITC models, online teaching and recreation of the MOOC courses, the new education policy 2020, the academic leadership in higher education, and the flipped classroom model of enhancing the quality in higher education. After this online refresher course, the organizers are very much committed that the participating faculties and the research scholars, irrespective of their discipline, will be aware of various useful teaching skills and teaching tools. Their theoretical and the practical approach will be broadened, and they will be well versed with the emerging contemporary challenges in the various domains of the teachings available. The interaction between various faculties across all the domains of law, social sciences, commerce, management, science would across the nation would also be among many outcomes that we aspire to achieve during this online refresher course. I'm happy to introduce everybody that we have participants of total of 152 across 26 states of our country. And we are very proud to organize this refresher course. I welcome you all once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, I would like to invite Alok Mishra, Sir, Dean, Faculty of Law, Jagran Lake City University. Professor Dr. Alok Mishra, Sir, has teaching, research, administrative, and practicing experience at BAR for more than 3 decades. His last assignment was with NMIMS, where he was working as Dean, NMIMS, Kriti P. Mehta School of Law, Mumbai, and 6 other schools of law in Navi Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Indore, Dhule, Chandigarh campuses of NMIMS. He was founder and chairman of Human Rights Organization and an associate member of MNST International. He is a life member of Supreme Court Bar Association, Indian Society of International Law, and Indian Law Institute, New Delhi. He has been a member of International Council of Jurists, London. His area of interest is constitutional law. He is a consultant in field of constitutional law. He has been awarded the EnviroCare International Award 2016 for his efforts and dedication to the cause of environment. He is also the recipient of Academic Excellence Award 2018. Recently, he received Academic Leadership Award 2020 for recognition of leadership, expertise, contribution, devotion, commitment towards legal academics in India. Now, I would like to request Sir to please take over the session.
Thank you so much, Nancy and Rashda Arshad, the anchors of this program. Most learned Vice Chancellor of Jagran Lake City University, Professor Sandeep Shastriji, Registrar Dr. Vivek Khare, many faculty members of Jagran Lake City University, some of the very talented students for whom this inaugural session of faculty development program will be a unique experience. And also, I welcome all the guests, Honorable Vice Chancellor of PDM University, Professor Bakshi, Professor Vimal from Delhi. We welcome Mr. Gaurav Gulati, Director, Droid Panel Group, Prayagraj, Dr. Devanshu Srivastav, the young team who has been very instrumental in organizing, in fact, this program. This kind of academic exercise has been like we had been the leaders in this right from the times of freedom struggle when our founder Shri Gurudev Gupji was a member of Rajya Sabha, and Dainik Jagran Group during freedom struggle was established in 1942, to which this university belongs. And like the family of Mathli Sharan Gupta and all the leading stalwarts of Madhya Pradesh in freedom struggle who were conscience bearers, in fact, during freedom struggle. They had been contributing so much, in fact. So Dainik Jagran, the leading newspaper of India, feels proud to have this university in this central Indian region of Madhya Pradesh, from where we lead and belong to the club of very premium law schools of the country. This law school and university are highly ranked in India Today rankings also, and many ranking instrumentalities of the private sector, in fact, which have a lot of credibility because they are quite aware and near to ground realities of the education revolution which is going on in the country. Very fortunately, we have one of the finest professors as well as very learned analyst, Professor Sandeep Shastriji, who is leading the university up front, and Dr. Vivek Khare, like the way he manages the university and the administration of it. You have a different touch and feel when you enter this university campus. The greatest USP is that we are not simply a university, but a great asset, being the coolest and greenest campus, a residential university in the real sense in the country. And students coming from so many states of the India, a lot of diversity and inclusivity we nurture. We earn reputation by our efforts, genuine efforts, keeping our conscience, and not in a hurry, in fact, but very solid steps have been taken. A lot of academic discussions also take place in the university in the leadership of Honorable Vice Chancellor and other officers of the university. And in that, our young faculty also a great blend of senior professors and middle-level professors, young professors like Dr. Devanshu and others. So there is a wonderful blend of things in the university, and this kind of discussion is also part of it. So not only in this online refresher course, otherwise also I invite you all to visit this one of the most beautiful campus, which has the historical pyramid also of Bhopal stationed in our university campus, a center of a lot of positivity also. So all of you are welcome, in fact, to visit the university. And I welcome you all in this online session. The plurality of topics and the multidisciplinarity, interdisciplinarity, and the transdisciplinarity which we nurture in the university here, with a fine blend of this campus in Chandanpura and extended campus, a great campus in Mughaliya Chhap also. A lot of space is there, a lot of diversity of nurturing of that. So we feel proud of it. So, and very cool and confident atmosphere. So that is the hallmark of an educational institution. So with this note, I welcome you all in this faculty development program, and I wish that a lot of wonderful academic discussions will take place in coming 15 days. And the beauty of the functioning of the campus here is that there is hardly any pressure as such, and people are so committed and devoted in their own way, as per their choice, as per their freedom, as per their conscience, as per their free will, that the real nurturing of education takes place and everyone contributes to the best of it. So a lot of eminent guests I am finding on the screen. Many of them I have met in the past also, and star-studded faculty also of this university. I welcome all the faculty and all the guest professors present here. So nice of you. Thank you so much. Over to Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we have with our guest of eminence, Dr. Vimal Rao ma'am. Now we have with our guest of eminence, Dr. Vimal Rao ma'am, National Coordinator, Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center. Professor Vimal Rao is a leading woman edupreneur in the field of e-learning with a decade of experience in the corporate e-learning world, and is amongst the pioneer in implementing ICT in higher education in the country. She has, to her credit, many research paper, a patent, book, presentation, projects, and invited talks at local, national, and international forums. She is also managing 3 centers working in the field of e-learning at national level. At Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of MHRD, Government of India, she has trained more than around 73,000 teachers, for which she was recently facilitated by Union Minister Srimati Smriti Irani. At Center for E-Learning, SGTB, Khalsa College, she has developed more than 50 MOOCs in 4-quadrant format of Swayam platform. She is only chemistry teacher of the country to be awarded the National Resource Center of Chemistry of MHRD, Government of India, for developing ARPIT courses 3 times in a row for all chemistry teachers of India since 2018. The quality of the e-contract developed by Heron ARPIT courses in chemistry has been rated amongst the best in the country of MHRD. She has been contributing in policy making at national level in various committees like Online Courses Regulation 2018 of UGC, E-Governance Committee, Technical Committee of National Academic Depository at UGC, and Expert Evaluation Committee for National Educational Alliance in Technology of AICTE. She has been governing body member around 10 autonomous colleges of the country. She is also the member of committee to review and continue the EPG Pathshala project in the next phase at UGC. She has guided development of video studio for many institutions, including for AICTE. She is currently in the committee of AICTE for technical book writing for engineering courses in around 10 regional languages for outcome-based education and NEP 2020. She is also the reviewer of the chemistry book for the initiative. Professor Rao has been conferred with various awards like INSA Best Teacher Award 2020, Edupreneur Award by Minister of Education, Burhan, Delhi Ratna Award, Edupreneur Innovator Award, to name a few. Her design MOOCs have been published as one of the 3 best MOOCs from India by Department of Higher Education and Training, Australia Government. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. I now request Dr. Vimal Rao ma'am to address the gathering.
Thank you, Dr. Rashida, for your kind words. Good afternoon, everyone. Very respected guest of honor today, Professor Sandeep Shastri, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Jagran Lake City University. Very respected guest of honor, Professor A.K. Bakshi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, PDM University, Bahadurgarh, and Chairman, JDTLC. Very respected Professor Vivek Khare, Professor Alok Mishra, Dr. Devanshu Srivastava, Mr. Gaurav Gulati, all other organizing committee members from the two premier institutions who have collaborated with us, Jagran Lake City University, Bhopal, and Droid Pinel Group. I welcome you, each one of you, and especially all dear colleagues who have joined as participants from almost all the states of the country. Gaurav, if I request, I can will like to share my screen. I think this is not yet enabled. Just look into that.
You may try once again. It's enabled now.
Yeah, thank you. So, my gratitude to all of you on behalf of Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center. I welcome you in this 15 days online refresher course themed on new age teaching methods and skills in higher education, which is the need of the hour and much emphasized in NEP 2020. Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center is a center of Ministry of Education under the Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya Nation Mission on Teachers and Teaching Scheme. And this center is located at my own premier institution, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, a constituent college of University of Delhi. So I welcome you on behalf of my college as well as on behalf of my university. This scheme, we are getting blessings from Bharat Ratna Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji and Guru Angad Dev ji. Guru Angad Dev ji is the second of the 10 Sikh Gurus who were chosen, none other than Guru Nanak Dev ji, to take his preachings to the world. And in very humble effort, we as a group of academicians headed by visionary Professor Bakshi as chairman of the center, we are trying to take the entire teaching community, handhold each other, whatever expertise one has, to have the collaborative program and learn in this changing time when the new policies are coming, the new technology interventions are happening, and the newer methods that we as the teachers have to embrace. And that's where rightly this FDP themed on that. In our advisory committee, headed by Professor Bakshi, we have other eminent academicians, and especially I extend warm welcome on behalf of Professor Jasminder Singh, who is Director GIDTLC and Principal SGTB Khalsa College. We have state-of-art infrastructure in terms of physical hands-on training. That's where we started in 2016. The center was inaugurated by the then Honorable HRD Minister Smriti Jubini Irani ji. So few words from the inaugural event.
आज मैं विशेष रूप से बधाई देती हूँ प्रोफेसर बख्शी को, विमल जी को, जिन्होंने बहुत मेहनत करके इस सेंटर को जीवित रूप में आपके सामने प्रस्तुत किया। ये एक टीचर की ललक उसके उत्साह का उदाहरण है कि भारत सरकार ने दिसंबर 2014 को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के हाथों पंडित मदन मोहन मालवीय नेशनल मिशन को राष्ट्र के सामने प्रस्तुत किया। लेकिन उसमें हमने एक शर्त रखी कि जो भी इस प्रोजेक्ट से जुड़े वो स्वयं एक अनोखा टीचिंग लर्निंग का प्रस्ताव लेकर आए, और उस प्रस्ताव में जो अनोखा हो अथवा वो प्रस्ताव अगर शिक्षकों के माध्यम से आए तो विशेष रूप से हमारा सहयोग ऐसे प्रोत्साहित शिक्षकों को जो दूरगामी परिणाम देख सकते हैं, ऐसे शिक्षकों को समर्थन करने का हमारा प्रयास रहेगा। My teachers and my heartiest
Actually, we also never realized that the Smriti Irani ji ने कहा कि दूरगामी, अब हमें लगता है yes, these words were really meant because as a team we had started journey from almost 2013 at a national level with EPG Pathshala project, and then we realized teachers are lacking skills in terms of the digital content production and the digital tools which they have to embrace in the blended learning. But then the teachers were not ready at that time, and the last 2 years in the corona phase, I think corona has really made all of us to adapt to these tools, although these tools were there more than 2 decades, but the e-learning was just not really applicable, and now we see that it has so much immense scope. Not just that we want to use the technology, but I will request all my colleagues that the technology should be used to enhance the quality of education, and that is where the focus, and looking into NEP 2020 outcome-based education, how the technology tools can be used by teachers in a very effective manner in teaching learning processes as well as in the assessment mechanism to make all those visions in the visionary document NEP 2020 actualize in each and every classroom, because otherwise the policy remains policy and we will all have to be working together. And that's why we thought that yes, in the last 2 years when we have gone online, we could do so many collaborative events. And now, rather how we started with, yes, only empowerment workshop, but also we are working on preparation of open educational resources in the form of teacher CK, development of e-learning objects, and working upon upgrading the skills of teachers, especially in e-learning and ICT is our foray. And we are also now collaborating with other institutions to have different subject specific requirements also upgraded, because teachers have to continuously keep on upgrading themselves. In 2013, the EPG Pathshala project, when we started, this is again in a record time, we completed 6 subjects out of the 77 subjects started at UGC level. And in these 6 subjects, 89 courses in 4-quadrant format. Now all this content is available and is being used so much extensively since last 2 years. Almost every teacher, they are now knowing about these, and they are trying. But then this is just a base. We have to see how this content and more content has to be generated and has to be integrated in a very positive way. Not that it is simply the video the students will be watching on their own. How effectively as teachers we can integrate them in the classroom with the help of other assessment tools as well. And that is what I think in this entire refresher course, there will be different speakers who will be deliberating on these. And I'm sure each one of you will be getting ideas of creating some unique model for your, because every classroom is a different setting. The teacher has different level of expertise in terms of the ICT tools, as well as how the students are there from different setup, whether rural or urban or different type of learners. Every batch is a new setup, and I'm sure there will be many models which will be evolving once you are aware about what all you have to be adapted in front of pedagogies and the tools which you can blend with your subject requirement. I'm also happy to share that we also designed the content framework for the mandatory faculty induction program. Prior to this, orientation courses used to happen, and as per a survey, the UGC HRDC, not many courses were of the desired quality, and there was a need that there has to be uniformity in terms of the minimum content which has to be transacted in terms of preparing teachers into a holistic manner when they are entering the profession. And I'm thankful again to Ministry of Education for giving this opportunity, where out of these 12 modules, 8 modules from our side, which especially no need to say that they are all ICT based, and others where they were accepted as such, and in others also we did some contribution. And since then we have been conducting various face-to-face events going from different places, but we could not go into nook and corner of India because we again the limitations of economies and otherwise timings and all. But since April 2020, what we really witnessed ourselves in this training, and which has been now appreciated at national level, and even ministry has accepted that these online trainings are the way to go ahead, and definitely the teachers get a flexible mode. And I'm happy to share that since March 2022 itself, we have crossed 73, and every day we are starting some or the other FTP in collaboration, and many unique programs also we are doing, which are on e-content, MOOCs, 4-quadrant, and so on forms. This concept of Teachers EK 2.0, which we has been upgraded from Teachers EK 1.0 version, has been modified as per NEP 2020, and more than 2,000 teachers across the country are contributing that how we can create a model for every classroom in every subject, how tools, what tools How will you have the flipped classroom model? How you will integrate the Bloom taxonomy in assessment and the various other features as per 4 quadrant. And this is accepted by ministry for the recognition of 5 API per module, which is also the academic incentive now given by UGC and AICT for contribution of teachers into these digital resources creation. At National Resource Center of Chemistry, again, we have been since 2018, we have been conducting ARPIT courses. And again, happy to share that the quality of content as well as in terms of the number of enrollments out of the 42 different subjects we have again leading in that. And here we come again on another exciting refresher course that we are going to start. Thank you for our collaborating partners, but one request to all my colleagues who are joined here, please, there will be stringent requirement of completion of each of these attendance, assignment, quizzes and projects. We are giving it in a flexible mode, giving you more time to complete so that you don't have to take a duty leave, but then the entire part, whether it is the live session or the recorded live and the self-study, more videos will be available on my class, and rigorous assignment, quizzes and projects. We will give you time, but it has to be completed, otherwise the successful completion certificate will not be provided. And this FDP, I think this is really themed on the requirements that we all have to equip ourselves on a continuous basis. So my humble request, first of all, to all those colleagues who have just joined, that yes, for the promotion we require 1 or 2 FDPs or refresher course. That should not be the attitude now. All the changes which are happening in such a fast pace in higher education and school education, it becomes our responsibility. For those who know, please come and help us as resource person, conduct programs with us. Those who want to learn, please join as participant, learn, and then also come to the responsibility of becoming future resource person. Not only for higher education, it is also our duty that we handhold our school education system. In every subject, we have to create now models. When we say we have to go away from rote learning, how will we go away from rote learning? What are those activities? What are those outcome-based things which we'll be trying to put up in our classroom situation? But then syllabi completion, so how the ICT can be providing a backbone. So all these things are very important, that, and I'm sure all the resource persons will be doing rich knowledge which they have gathered over the years, and we will all be learning in this, in a, I will say again, in a co-learning fashion. We are all here to learn from each other. So it's not that anyone is expert. We are just sharing our ground knowledge. So with this humble note, I once again specially welcome Professor Sandeep Shastri sir. Welcome sir on behalf of GAD TLC for becoming part of this inaugural ceremony, and also being partner with us in your university for this collaborative refresher program. My special welcome goes to Professor Bakshi, who is always there with us, guiding us, designing the programs, and taking so many sessions with us. My also gratitude goes to Professor Vivek Khare, Professor Alok Mishra, Dr. Devanshu Srivastav, all others from Droid Panel Group, including Gaurav. I think there are many collaborative events we have done. Thank you so much for taking. And those who are even more interested from the participant to join and have collaborative event, you can write to us. And please join Telegram group for the latest updates. We keep on conducting various. So with these words, I wish all the very best to my colleagues who are here on a virtual journey of co-learning with all of us. I'm sure all of us will be gaining some more knowledge, and with us motive that we have to improve ourselves so that we can improve our classroom delivery, and through classroom we are able to create a better society. We are able to integrate the values and the other things which are, I think, missing in the education system, which we have to nurture and this is the right time we can do it in a collaborative. So thank you so much. Thank you, Gaurav. Over to you, Rishta.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. Now, I would like to invite our guest of honor, Professor A.K. Bakshi, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, PDM University, Haryana. Professor Dr. A.K. Bakshi, former Sri Shankar Lal Professor of Chemistry in the University of Delhi, is presently founding Vice Chancellor of PDM University, Bahadurgarh, Haryana. He has been Executive Director of Tertiary Education Commission, Mauritius, a post for which he was selected through a global selection, and Vice Chancellor of UP, Rajshri Tandon Open University, Allahabad. Professor Bakshi is also presently chairman of the National Resource Center of Chemistry of MHRD Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of MHRD and Center for E-Learning, all located at SGTB Khalsa College of Delhi University. Professor Bakshi has also been a member of the Standing Committee of the National Mission of Education through ICT of the Government of India. He has also the chairman of the Content Advisory Committee for the Chemistry of Sakshat portal of the MHRD Government of India. He has also been headed Department of Chemistry, Director of CPDHE, and Director of Institute of Lifelong Learning of Delhi University. He has also been a visiting professor at GGSIP University in Delhi. A double gold medalist and recipient of several awards and academic honors, Professor Bakshi was facilitated 2 times for his outstanding contribution to education by the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Professor Bakshi is also the author, co-author of more than 180 research and education articles, etc., and 1 patent. He has credited 11 books as author, co-author, 51 e-books, books as editor, chairman, convener of the working groups, and 63 e-modules as author, co-author of PG chemistry courses and ARPIT programs of the MHRD. Professor Bakshi has also been a member of National Writing Team for Chemistry for Class 11th and 12th books of NCRT. Professor Bakshi was elected as the president of the section of the Chemical Science of the Indian Science Congress Association for the year 2011 and 12. He has also been a member of various committees of national and international importance. He is also one of the first person from universities in India to have been selected as a member of scientists of 3rd Indian Research Expedition to Antarctica. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to you, sir. I now request Professor A.K. Bakshi, sir, to address the gathering.
Thank you very much for your very kind words of introduction. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Esteemed Professor Sandeep Shastri ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Jagran Lake City, Bhopal, Professor Vivek Khare, Registrar of the University, Professor Alok Mishra, Dean Faculty of Law. We have also Professor Dr. Devanshu Srivastava, Head Faculty of Law, and then young colleague, Mr. Gaurav from Deloitte Penalo Group. It's indeed a great honor and a privilege to have this opportunity to share some of my thoughts in this keynote address of this 15 days online faculty development program on a very, very important theme of, new age teaching methods and skills in higher education, being jointly organized by Jagran Lake City in collaboration with Deloitte Penale Group and Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of the Ministry of Education, Government of India. As you all know, Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center has been created under Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching. This is a central scheme of the Government of India, the focus of which is on empowerment of teachers and their teaching. And this present FDP has to be viewed from that perspective. This faculty development program will basically empower the teachers about the new teaching methods and skills which we are going to have in the 21st century. Because, the basic thinking is that the quality of an educational system cannot exceed the quality of its teachers. So if you want to raise the quality of an education system, you must raise the competence level of the teachers. So now the question comes, how to raise the competence of our teachers? They have many functions to perform, but the main functions are to disseminate knowledge, that is teaching learning, and to create knowledge, that is research. So they should excel in both of these roles. Now the question comes, what makes an outstanding teacher? I personally feel you may be in any discipline, but if you want to be a good teacher, you need to have a very thorough knowledge of your subject. You should have done a lot of thinking on the subject, and that should be reflected in your teaching. Then you should also have excellent communication and presentation skills. There are many teachers who are full of knowledge, but when the question comes of presentation, they are not able to present their ideas in a very systematic and logical manner. And that's where the problem starts. So these are the qualities which an outstanding teacher should have. And then for an outstanding researcher, you need to be innovative and creative. You should have done a lot of thinking and also out-of-box thinking. Because, research comes only with new ideas. And for that, you have to be an out-of-box thinking, and you cannot become out-of-box thinker overnight. This is a habit which needs to be nurtured from school days onwards. Now the question comes, what it has to do with the theme of this faculty development program. In any education system, three things are very important. One is, what do you teach? That is the curriculum. Second is, how do you teach? That is the teaching methods. And the third is, how do you assess your students? That is the assessment part. Now, first part, if we take curriculum, that is like a menu which we offer to our students. And as the new education policy has very rightly mentioned, our syllabi need to be new and modern and also light. Why do they talk about light syllabi? Because we should give more time to the students to think. Education is not the learning of the facts. It is the training of the mind to think. And you have to give time to your students. And then the syllabus should be modern, because knowledge in all disciplines is growing very, very fast. So fast that the doubling time of the growth of knowledge has shrunk considerably. There was a time when knowledge used to get doubled in 150 years. But now knowledge is getting doubled in almost 73 days. So you can very well imagine how soon our knowledge is getting outdated. Therefore, there is an urgent need to revise our syllabi more frequently. And this can be done only by the teachers. Teachers themselves should be aware of what are the new developments in their discipline. And then accordingly, they should revise the syllabus. The next point which comes is teaching. In my opinion, this is the most important component of the education process. Because, how we teach, that determines to a great extent the interest created in the students. Unfortunately, in India, we still continue to teach by the traditional talk and chalk method. Still it continues. And this talk and chalk method of teaching is, a teacher-centric approach, which is very slow and time-consuming, which presumes that all students learn in an identical fashion. That is not correct. Then, students are merely passive listeners to the teacher. And then syllabi being very heavy, you can't do much in the class. You can't solve many problems in the class. And then one more thing is that this method of teaching focuses more on examination, rote learning, and scoring high marks. This is very, very unfortunate. Please remember, learning is not the product of teaching. Learning is the result of activity of the learners. So if we really want our students to learn, we should try to engage our students. That is why in this 21st century, we talk about learner-centric teaching methods. We talk about those methods which involve the learner. Let them do the things. And these methods are now possible in this age because this is an information age where any information you can get just by a click of mouse. Only thing is you must know what information you need. So our teaching learning methods should change with the changing times. Unfortunately, that is not happening. If you look at some of the leading universities of the world, there is very little focus on lecture-based learning. Most of the time they talk about, learner-centric methods like project-based learning, problem-based learning, case studies, experiential learning, and so on. In each one of them, a student is engaged. So now the problem comes in India that we have 21st century students, but the content which we teach sometimes is of 19th century, teachers are of the 20th century, methods of teaching are of the 20th century. So there is a mismatch. And that is why we are not able to do very well. And then, we also examine students one against the other. That's not the purpose of education. So until and unless we change our teaching methods, we cannot excel in education. That's my feeling. Because, if you are focusing on rote learning, how do you expect such students to do very well in research? Research doesn't require rote learning. There, it requires new ideas, but you are not trained for that. There is a very famous NASA report according to which 98% of the kids who enter kindergarten they think different. But by the time they go through the education process, and at the age of 25, when they come out of the education system, 98% of them think alike. Why? Because we have been giving ready-made answers to the questions. They mug up, they reproduce, they score very high marks. But the real purpose of education is defeated. Our method of teaching should be such that it encourages thinking, innovation, and creativity amongst our students. But this is not happening. That is why, it is said now that there is a crisis of creativity in Indian education system. Look at the fact, I come from science. No Indian scientist working in India has been able to get a Nobel Prize after 1930. Almost more than 90 years have passed. Why should it happen? No doubt, there are always some peaks of excellence here and there in research. But looking at the population, such peaks are very few and far in between. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important theme on which we are having this faculty development program. You have to understand the new age teaching methods, and then you should also try to embrace them. Because, these methods should test higher order thinking skills. And there comes the role of assessment. Even the new education policy says we need to change the culture of assessment. Because assessment drives learning. The way you will assess your students will start learning in that way. You ask rote learning question, they will do that. You ask multiple choice question, they will know that writing skills are not important. They will know depth of the knowledge is not important. It's just like something, kaun banega crorepati. So assessment directs everything. We have to ensure that our examination system also tests higher order thinking skills. Only then those will be imbibed in our students. And that can come only through right quality of teaching. And in the 21st century, it is said, quality education ultimately consists of three things. First is disciplinary knowledge, interdisciplinary knowledge, and practical knowledge. This is one component, knowledge. Sometimes we teach subjects in isolation. If I teach chemistry, I teach as if it is only chemistry and it has no bearing on other subjects. No, that is wrong. Science is holistic. Physics, chemistry, biology, etc. This is a man-made demarcation. Otherwise, it is a unified science. We do not understand that. We try to teach subjects in isolation. So this is one problem in our teaching. Second component about knowledge is, after knowledge is 21st century skills. They have become very important in the 21st century. Now you would ask the question, what are these 21st century skills? These are a set of abilities which our students must possess in order to succeed and thrive in the 21st century. And these include learning skills, literacy skills, and life skills. Learning skills means collaboration, creativity, and then critical thinking. And then Literacy skills include information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy. And the third comes life skills, flexibility, leadership quality, social skills, etc. You may ask the question, why suddenly these skills have become so important? These skills have become so important because, you cannot have machines with these skills. These days we talk about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means, if I can have a machine with the same intelligence as you, then why do I need you? Because we can have machines with artificial intelligence, but you can never have a machine which is critically thinking. You can never have a machine which is, critical or creative. You can't have a machine with leadership quality. So all those individuals who will have these skills, those people will be in demand. But in India, there is a crisis of, skill culture. We are not able to develop skills. We know what are the skills, but how to teach them? Because we teachers do not know how to teach the skills. So this is something also which we need to keep it in mind. Now many of the leading companies all over the world, they are taking students not merely on the basis of degree, but on the basis of skill sets. Because these skills can be the deciding factor. And third thing, which is very important and which is often most ignored, is personality. Personality doesn't mean looks. It's your overall behavior, your attitude, your values. These are very important. And these three things which I mentioned, knowledge, 21st century skills, and personality, these three things taken together constitute competence of an individual. So we teachers need to focus on that. Please remember, the role of a teacher is very, very important. They are the, they are the builders of the future of the country. Students may be 20% of our population, but then they are 100% of our future. We need to give them the right education. A child miseducated is a child lost. We cannot afford to forget this point. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I wanted to say in brief about how you need to be empowered in teaching learning methods and skills so that we can prepare future generation of our students who are able to meet the challenges of the 21st century. I'm very sure that during these 15 days, many eminent resource persons are coming and they will share their thoughts and deliver many things, and try to imbibe them. Don't just listen to the talk. Try to make it a part of your life, make a part of your thinking, and then pass it on to the future generation. That is the real purpose of this faculty development program. I thank once again the organizers for inviting me to deliver this keynote address, and I wish this faculty development program a great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with your knowledge. Now I would like to invite Dr. Sandeep Shastri, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Jagran Lake City University, Bhopal. Dr. Sandeep Shastri is currently the Vice Chancellor of Jagran Lake City University, Bhopal. With close to 4 decades of experience in the fields of research and teaching, Dr. Shastri is a political scientist who has been the Pro-Vice Chancellor of Jain for over a decade, Director of the Research and Training Wing of the Jain Group of Institute for 5 years, and a faculty in Department of Political Science at the Bangalore University for 2 decades. His research has largely been in the field of electoral studies, federalism, political processes and institutions, and the teaching learning process. He is the co-chair of the Research Committee of International Political Science Association that focuses on public opinion research. He is the national coordinator of the Lok Niti Network, an all-India network of social scientists involved in survey-based election and opinion studies. Dr. Shastri has authored over 13 books, more than 50 chapters in edited books, and more than 100 articles in reputed research journals. As a political commentator, he has written more than 350 articles in English, Kannada, and Hindi in renowned newspapers and online portals. He is an election and political analyst for India Today TV and appears frequently on CNBC, News 18, and Republic TV. Dr. Shastri is a consultant to UNDP and was involved in their political party reforms project in the Pacific Rim countries. He has been a consultant to the World Bank for its governance reforms project in Nepal. He is a senior advisor to the Forum of Federations and its lead consultant on political transition in Myanmar, constitutional reforms in South Sudan, and federal processes in Sudan. Dr. Shastri has lectured at universities in over 50 countries in all the 6 inhabited continents. In his career, he has been a South Ford Foundation Fellow, Salzburg Seminar Fellow, Indo-Canadian Fellow, International Visitor Program Fellow. Dr. Shastri was privileged to play a key role in drafting Karnataka's youth policy by serving as the chairman of the drafting committee of the said policy. Dr. Shastri prefers to describe himself as a teacher by instinct, researcher by choice, trainer by passion, and above all, a lifelong learner. A very warm welcome, sir. I now request sir to please address the gathering.
Thank you, Nancy, for those very warm and kind words. And it's indeed a delight to be associated with this program. It was wonderful to hear Professor Bakshi ji and Professor Bimal ji. I have very little to offer as a additional point to those very, 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 very valuable points that they made. It's indeed an honor for Jagran Lake City University to be associated with this program. And I thank Gaurav ji for having kept us in the loop and having involved us in the programs that has been organized earlier also. And we are privileged this time to host it. I would just like to, at this stage, focus on 3-4 points, which I think are important as we take this FDP forward. Some of you may have read that research report which came out recently, which said that last 1.5 years of online learning has seen something like a 50% decline in the absorption capacity of young learners. That the quantum of learning that young learners have had on account of online learning has been 50% less than what would have been in a normal year where we had offline learning. So yes, we did take to online learning by convenience and by necessity. And I think today we need to ask ourselves the question that as we are moving to a post-corona world, how do we bring back the vigor, intensity, and deep quality of learning? The current FDP is very important because I think the online program of training is critical because it allows people to learn at their pace and in a way of their choice. And I was truly delighted to hear what Professor Bakshi said and Professor Vimal said about the efforts being made here to improve the quality of what we do. Devanshu ji, as the convener of this workshop, I have only one suggestion, which is this. I've been noticing since the start of the program, we have had between 85 people to 105 people on board. But never have I seen more than 15 or 16 people switching on their videos. More than 80 participants have preferred to keep their videos off. I don't know if only the videos are off or people are also off and the videos are just kept there to represent them. I think the biggest success of this online workshop would be if 100% of our participants kept their video on. Because that would be the example we would be showing to our students. How much would we like our students having put their boxes in front of us and we teaching to those open boxes. So this is my first request as the Vice Chancellor of the university, which is one of the sponsors of this program. It's my appeal to every participant and we keep our videos on. I know people will say bandwidth, power supply, but I think more critical than bandwidth and power supply is our emotional connect and bandwidth to a program. So when Vimal ma'am said that there are going to be assignments and delayed submission, could we also have a component on active participation in the program? Yes, Babita ji, there are problems of data saving, but do you want to save technical data or do we want to save data which has to be in our mind? That's my question. So my appeal to everyone here is, can we stay apart but connect on this platform? And Devanshuji, let me mention, when you call me for a lecture on this session, I'm going to make it interactive that people would be forced to talk. I don't know if you have the facility of breakout rooms. I didn't see it. If you're going to allow for breakout rooms, within 2 minutes of my session, I'm going to break everybody into breakout rooms, have work there, and then people come back. Because that should be the spirit with which we take this forward. I'm raising, Khare sir, a fundamental question. Is this procedural learning or substantive learning is my question. If it is procedural learning about getting a certificate at the end, I would applaud that. But if it is substantive learning of what other than the certificate did I get after 15 days, that I'm not too sure will happen with only windows which are black being shown for 1.5 hours during a session. So I would be a votary for substantive learning. And that substantive learning comes with active participation. And I'm sure Gauraji now, who is visible to us, would endorse the point that I just now made. And let's lead with example. I know most of the veterans here did not switch off their video even for a single minute in the last 1 hour of the session. And that's the example I would want the other 95 participants in this session to follow. As Bakshiji said, technology is a platform. Learner first, learning always. That's the goal. And can learning always be a goal when I have a black box in front of me? So I keep like a parrot repeating that point. If this FDP has to succeed, for me, the measure of success of the FDP is not how many enrolled for the FDP. For me, the measure of the success of the FDP is not how many assignments were submitted as part of the SDP. For me, the measure of success of the FDP is, in a 90-minute session, did we have at least 60% participant talk and less than 30% of resource person talk? And Divanshuji, with your permission, that's what I would aim at day after tomorrow when I take my session. Because at the end of the day, a FDP learning is about participation, about involvement, and about everybody being there. Unfortunately, even after what I said, we just have around 30 videos on. 60 videos are still off. Maybe they have not heard what I said, because you all may remember there was that very famous example, Bakshiji, where a lady gave a 1.5 hour lecture. She realized at the 1.5 hour lecture end that she was muted, but nobody in the audience realized that she was muted because nobody was there as the lecture was going on. So I hope that does not happen with our FDP also. So my best wishes to everybody. And Pupi Rigia, we don't want only to you to listen to us. We want to watch you all and see the facial reactions to the points that we are making, because that is what makes a session exciting. So thank you for having me here, and I apologize for having pushed certain issues, but I think those issues need to be pushed in order to make the goals that all of us have as part of this program successful. I remember reading somewhere that Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji kept saying in all his efforts of education that I ask myself, where is the learner in the education process? So when we are doing a program with his name involved in that, I think that's the justice we need to do to the one who has led the program. So thank you for having me here, and I look forward to the success of this session.
Thank you so much, sir, for this engaging address. Moving further with the session, I would now like to invite Professor Dr. Vivek Khare, sir, Registrar, Jagran Lake City University, Bhopal. Professor Dr. Vivek Khare, sir, is a well-known personality in academia and sports. His research on problems of recovery and overdues of loans with special reference to Madhya Pradesh State Financial Corporation and Madhya Pradesh Audyogik Vikas Nigam was well appreciated and got awarded as his PhD thesis in the year 2003. He has a wide experience of teaching, administration, and research for about 2.5 decades. His area of specialization includes accounting and finance. He is equally competent in commerce and management education also. His research experience includes number of research papers published in well-known national and international journals, which include Review of Business and Technology Research and Research Bulletin of ICWAI. With 26 years of experience in teaching graduates and postgraduates, degree students, he is also an approved guide for PhD program and projects at Barkatullah University, Bhopal, and IGNOU New Delhi. He is the member of the interview panel of some prominent banks, Government of MP, and AIMA. He holds the responsible position of university like registrar, dean, and controller of examination, through which he demonstrates his leadership qualities and managerial expertise. He also supervises the KPMG accounting practices and CIMA courses. Professor Dr. Vivek Khare also serves as a consultant, board of study members, and visiting faculty in some of the prominent institutions of Madhya Pradesh, and also is an active member of the Indian Commerce Association. He was nominated on the proven record of successful experience and on merit basis a member of Students' Council in Government Hamidia College, Bhopal. From 1991 to 1993, he was also a regular member of Under 15, Under 19, and a senior cricket team at state level. With all due respect, sir, I would like to invite you to address the gathering.
Good evening. Thank you, Nancy. I am really elated and would like to welcome each participant in this 15 days online refresher course on New Age teaching methods and skills in higher education, organized by Jagran Lake City University, Bhopal, and Droid Panel Group, Prayagraj, in collaboration with Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center, a scheme under Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching, Ministry of Education, Government of India. First of all, I would like to congratulate the organizing team for getting registrations from across 26 states and over 150 participants from domains like legal studies, humanities, commerce, and science field. I would like to mention that this is a wonderful opportunity rendered by one of the most promising private universities in central India, Jagran Lake City University, in collaboration with Droid Panel. We are grateful to Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center for selecting our university for dispensing this online refresher course. Your trust and support will surely help a young university, and we promise you that we will grow further. Professor Bakshi, your presence and expertise will benefit us a long way. Professor Sandeep Shastri, a visionary and having a rich experience in research and teaching, is always a great source for inspiration for all of us. Professor Vimal Ma'am, your benign presence and support in an added charm. My wishes to the organizing team and all the participants for wonderful learning. And as Professor Bakshi has mentioned, that we need to think out of the box and also to revise our syllabus regularly. We need to be innovative and we need to come out of the traditional methods of teaching. At our university, our VCs are always guided and motivates our faculty members to take lectures in such a way where students should participate and also have a learning. The classes should not have a one-way communication. And you must have observed that when he was speaking, he has called everyone to switch on his cameras and other things. So this is how he always guide us and always motivate us to take. He is a believer that the classes should not be a one-way communication. They should always be a two-way communication. I take this opportunity to welcome Professor Alok Mishra, Mr. Gaurav, Dr. Devanshu, and all the members of organizing committee and all the participants. A small request to all of us, as Professor Bakshi, Professor Vimal, and Dr. Shastri has mentioned, please do incorporate what all you will learn in the coming 15 days. In your class, it should be reflected in your classroom. It should be passed to the next generation. I would like to thank you, the organizer, for giving me this opportunity to speak with you. And as the two Talbot has already covered most of the point, I would not add new points in that. I would again like to welcome all of you and thank you, organizers.
Thank you so much, sir. Now moving towards the successful end of our inaugural day, I would request the director of Droid Pinel Grow, Mr. Gaurav Gulati, to please take over. Mr. Gaurav Gulati is the founder and managing director of Droid Pinel Grow, Prayagraj, an advocate at High Court of Judicature at Allahabad, and has organized various national and international events in different cities in collaboration with central, state, and private universities. He has also judged various moots and Jagran Lake City University Bhopal, University of Lucknow, Amity University, and Maths University, and chaired a number of sessions held at various prestigious institutes of the country. He is also the managing director, Arjun Das Gulati Educational Trust, Prayagraj, and promoter of Sudarshan Foundation. He is also the founder and secretary of Arjun Das Gulati Memorial Society, which is providing legal education and legal aid to the underprivileged. His organization has signed several MOUs with various universities and government organizations relating to the betterment of education as well as legal clinics. Mr. Gulati has also delivered lectures on various issues related to law and society in several universities and colleges. With this, I invite you, sir, to please take over the session and also to end the session with your formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Nancy. Very good evening to all in one present over here. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. I would like to thank all the honorable dignitaries who blessed us with their presence today. I'm also very thankful to all the program advisory committee members and the invited speakers for this program. Words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support to shape this refresher course. I, on behalf of the organizing committee, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor, Jharkhand Lake City University, Professor Sandeep Shastri. I am also thankful to Professor Vimal Lal, National Coordinator, GAD TLC, Professor Alok Mishra, Dr. Devanshu Srivastava. They helped us in obtaining the necessary administrative approvals for organizing this event. They supported in all possible manner to organize this 15 days online refresher course. My special thanks to Professor A.K. Bakshi for his gracious presence at this juncture. My sincere thanks to Dr. Vivek Khare, Registrar, Jharkhand Lake City University, Bhopal, for his help and support at various stages. Today, my words are not enough to express the gratitude to all our guests and dignitaries who graced us with their kind words. I would like to thank our beloved and everyone connected to this cause who constantly helped and guided us, that radiated a source of energy within us. We will remain grateful to you and we thank you for being with us today. I am very thankful to all the faculties and non-teaching staff members of Jharkhand Lake City University who always stood by us and motivated us. I feel proud and thankful for making this event a successful one. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling months in advance. I have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated committee members and volunteers. I cannot thank everyone enough for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they have expressed to take on this completion of the task beyond their comfort zones. I am also thankful to our organizing committee. Thank you very much once again. If time is money, then today we have spent millions for us. Thank you, all of you, for making this inaugural ceremony a success.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank each and every one of you for gracing the session with your presence. Now, I would like to end the session by handing over the session to Dr. Narendrajeet Kaur ma'am. She'll brief everybody about the technical sessions and the e-com classrooms. With this, I thank everybody of you and thank you so much.
Narendrajeet ma'am will be joining us at 5:30. She will be giving an outlook of the My E-Class, which is the LMS portal which we'll be using for this 15 days refresher course. So the participants are requested to join the session, and those who have already done this program with GAD TLC and Roy Penal, they know how to access My E-Class. The same thing has to be done this time also for the E-Class access. So those who are new with us, they can join and understand how to access with the E-Class facility. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Vice Chancellor sir. Thank you so much, Registrar sir. Thank you so much, Alok sir, for joining. Thank you so much, Gaurav sir. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Rushda. All the participants, we'll be starting with the introduction to our LMS portal. Do attend that session so that you'll be aware of how the assignments needs to be uploaded, how the attendance on the portal per day we need to mark, and other things are also necessary.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible? So do you mean that we have to leave now and join once again at 5:30?
No, ma'am, we never meant that.